In the quiet heart of Estes Park, Colorado, nestled against the backdrop of the snow-capped Rocky Mountains, lies one of the most haunted hotels in the United States, the Stanley Hotel. A grand, colonial revival building with a rich history, timeless charm, and something else. Something darker. Something that inspired one of the most chilling novels and films in horror history, The Shining. But what lies beyond fiction? Are the tales of hauntings, mysterious music, flickering lights, and ghostly apparitions merely echoes of the imagination? Or is there a sinister truth buried within the walls of this legendary hotel? Tonight, on the Grim Tapes, we peel back the velvet curtains of time to reveal the spine-chilling secrets of the Stanley Hotel. Stay with us until the very end, because what you hear might just keep you up tonight. And by the time we're done, you might think twice before checking in. Let's begin our descent into the supernatural. The origins of the Stanley Hotel. To understand the ghost stories, we must begin at the beginning. The Stanley Hotel was built in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, co-inventor of the Stanley steamer automobile. Stanley had come to Estes Park seeking a cure for his tuberculosis. The fresh mountain air worked miracles, and he decided to build a luxury hotel that would bring high society to the mountains. It wasn't just any hotel. It had electricity, phones, en-suite bathrooms, luxuries that were rare in the early 20th century. It became a jewel of the Rockies, attracting wealthy visitors, artists, and politicians. But from the very beginning, something about the hotel seemed off. Guests reported strange sensations, cold spots, feelings of being watched, doors closing on their own. And over time, stories of actual ghosts began to surface. Ghostly residents and their stories. Let's talk about the spirits. First, there's Elizabeth Wilson. A former housekeeper of the hotel, she was nearly killed in a gas explosion in room 217 in 1911. Though she survived, many believe her spirit never left. Guests in room 217 have reported waking to find their clothes neatly folded, lights turned on or off, and even feeling a gentle touch in the night. Stephen King himself stayed in this very room, an experience that would lead him to write The Shining. Then, there are the twin girls seen in the hallway, yes, just like the ones in Kubrick's film, though the hotel insists there were never any twins who died there. Yet multiple guests have claimed to see them. Could it be collective hallucination, or something more sinister? The concert hall is another paranormal hotspot. Guests have heard phantom piano music. Employees have reported seeing the ghost of Flora Stanley, Freeland's wife, playing the grand piano. When you approach, the music stops. But if you wait, it begins again. There's also the story of Paul, a former handyman. He's said to enforce the hotel's rules from beyond the grave. Staff who forget to lock the doors hear stern commands to do so. One construction worker allegedly heard the words, "Get out," right before an accident was narrowly avoided. The Shining connection, fact versus fiction. In 1974, author Stephen King and his wife checked into the Stanley Hotel. They were the only guests that night, and they stayed in room 217. King wandered the empty corridors, experienced vivid nightmares, and awoke with a story nearly fully formed in his mind. That story became The Shining. While the book's Overlook Hotel differs in layout and geography, the essence, the haunting, the isolation, the slow descent into madness, is pure Stanley. Interestingly, the 1980 film adaptation by Stanley Kubrick was not filmed at the actual hotel. However, the 1997 miniseries The Shining was shot there, bringing the story full circle. The hotel's management has embraced the haunting reputation. They even offer ghost tours, where guides recount eerie encounters and allow visitors to explore the most active rooms. Modern-day encounters and evidence. Paranormal investigators from across the globe have visited the Stanley Hotel. Ghost adventures, ghost hunters, and countless YouTubers have caught what they claim is evidence of supernatural activity. EVP recordings with unexplained voices. Infrared footage showing cold apparitions. Guests reporting waking up to whispers or the feeling of someone sitting at the edge of their bed. Security footage once showed a chair in the lobby moving entirely on its own. Skeptics claim it's air pressure or camera glitches. Believers see it as undeniable proof. There have even been sightings of freelance Stanley himself, usually near the billiard room, dressed in a suit, smiling politely at guests before vanishing. Why do spirits remain? Why would so many spirits remain in a place like this? Some say the hotel's history is soaked in emotional energy, loss, illness, music, love, and trauma. Others believe certain locations naturally attract spiritual activity, acting like beacons for the afterlife. And there's also the theory that belief fuels the paranormal. The more people expect to see ghosts, the more they open themselves up to perceiving them. But whether or not you believe in ghosts, the Stanley Hotel continues to produce stories, real experiences from real people. And they keep coming. The psychological factor. Let's not ignore the psychological side. The power of suggestion is strong. Sleep in a supposedly haunted room, and your brain might play tricks on you. But the mind can only go so far. What explains the photos showing shadowy figures? The voices recorded on tape? The coordinated experiences of entire tour groups hearing footsteps in an empty hallway? These aren't just isolated events. They're part of a pattern. Final stories, first-hand accounts. Let's end with a few chilling tales from guests. One couple staying in room 401 claimed their bathroom door locked itself repeatedly. They would unlock it, walk away, and minutes later, it was locked again. No one else was in the room. A child on a ghost tour said she saw a man in an old-fashioned suit tip his hat to her. Her parents saw no one. A maintenance worker reportedly saw a woman in period clothing staring out a window on the 4th floor, only to remember that no one had checked into that wing for days. Each of these stories builds the legend. And legends have a way of becoming real, especially when the setting is so perfect for a haunting. So, what do you think? Is the Stanley Hotel truly haunted, or is it just an extraordinary old building with a flair for the dramatic? Have the stories become self-fulfilling prophecies, or are guests really brushing shoulders with the afterlife? And most importantly, would you dare spend a night alone in room 217? Let us know in the comments. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this journey into one of America's most haunted locations, don't forget to like this video. It really helps us out and keeps the grim tapes going. Subscribe if you love deep dives into real paranormal cases, unexplained mysteries, and true horror stories. Until next time, sleep with one eye open. You never know who, or what, might be watching.